kind of.
That's fine.
The other deal I was wondering is should we
do like Instagram live at the same time with these things?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what I was
going
thinking.
forward,
Like,
I mean,
but I'm just saying, go
Should
forward.
be-
I mean,
You should be
Yeah,
live,
if we-
buddy.
if we do it,
Mm-hmm.
who me?
Oh, watch live now. Duck Commander.
Watch live now, Duck
Look at there.
Commander.
That's what my
Look at
phone
there.
just said.
That's what my phone just said.
Live now. Oh, there I am.
Live now. Oh,
Bald
there I
head
am.
and all.
Bald head and all.
Man, it's got an ad on it.
Man, it's got an ad on it.
Look at there. Skip the ad.
Look at there. Let's skip the ad.
Whoa, everybody's saying hello. That's
Whoa, everybody's saying hello. That's quick.
What is up, everybody?
What is up, everybody?
I see y'all. Man,
I see y'all.
quick, didn't you?
Man, y'all jumped in here
So,
quick, didn't you?
Just
So,
let y'all know what's going on
Just
here.
let y'all know
We
what's going
have
on here.
Jennifer.
We
is
have
gonna be
Jennifer
on the-
is going to
on the
be
live chat,
on the
so
on the live
some of the
chat.
questions I
So
may not get to.
some of the
that
questions
you
I may not
asked
get to
live,
that
but I'm gonna
you
try
ask
to,
live,
if
but
y'all
I'm going to
slow
try
down.
to if
But-
y'all slow down.
Yeah.
But
But
dad
what's
gum.
up, everybody?
But
Golly. Hey,
what's
this
up,
is
everybody?
fun. I had-
Golly,
why
hey,
is it
this is
echoing?
fun. Why is it echoing, Hunter? Why is it
I gotta-
echoing?
Hey, we're working on this.
gotta-
This is the first time.
Hey, we're working
so
on
let's
this. This is
we're
first
trying to
time,
figure it
so
out.
let's just
So,
we're trying to figure
we
it
got
out.
Hunter behind
So,
the camera.
we got Hunter behind the camera.
There we go.
You are echoing. There we
Do
go.
you have a boom connected or something?
Do you have a boom connected or something?
Ow.
Is that mic on?
I bet so.
All right. Yep. Oh,
All right.
Appreciate all
Yep.
the audio
Hey,
people.
appreciate all the audio people.
working
We're
on
it.
we're working on it.
I don't think. I don't know where it's on it. How do you turn your mic
Hold
on?
on one
Let's
second.
see here. Hold on one second.
Your voice.
Your voice comes out before your mouth moves.
Is that better?
Are we better? Can y'all tell me? For the people that were echoing, is the sound but worst echo? So I guess not. Let's see. Better. I just got a better. It stopped. Okay. Well, way better. Oh, yes, yes, yep. Okay. Hey, everybody coming in at once. All right. Look at there. So, anyway, so we'll have Jennifer responding in the live chat. Hunter's behind the camera, and I am here to take your questions. So earlier this week, via our Instagram, Facebook, all of our other social, we asked y'all to ask questions that you'd like to know. We're also going to be taking your questions live. I've got the chat pulled up here, so if you've already asked one, I probably missed it because of all the yes on the audio. So what we're going to do, if you'll ask them again, I'll do my best to get to them. I'm going to scroll through them. Jennifer will be looking for the most common question. If one comes up in the live chat, and she'll let me know, so just in case I miss it. So, Robbie, that's not very nice. You said shut up and answer. I don't think I like your attitude. But just in case y'all think I'm not reading these. Stop talking, Jace. I'm not Jace. Okay, here we go. We got a heckler in here, boys, so that's fine. Robbie, enjoy your Sunday, son. Anyway, so what y'all don't know about me since the show has ended, there's some cool things. I'm now the general manager of the company, so I handle all the day-to-day business. I don't build duck calls every day. I can, and I do still build them from time to time, but that's Godwin and Stone's department, is to make sure all of our product is built and carried on throughout the world. Jace and Phil, you obviously probably have seen them on the Unashamed podcast. If you haven't, check it out. They talk about a lot of cool things over there. And we're going to be doing more of this kind of stuff with you guys, with more live streams this fall. It's going to be really fun. We're going to live stream some duck hunts. We'll film them a day or two before and then bring them to you with minimum edits and with our commentary, watching back on the morning. So we'd love to be able to bring you one from the field, but you got to have that pesky thing called internet service. And where we hunt, we just don't have any. So without further ado, we're going to start taking some questions. I just saw one that said, how's Duck Commander doing? Look, we have been incredibly blessed by the COVID. You guys, old fans and new alike, have bought duck calls, have bought our turkey calls, have bought fishing stuff, and everybody's social distancing the right way, getting outdoors, spending time in the great outdoors, and having a good time. So we've actually done really well. We're doing our best to keep up with orders. We are lagging behind a little bit, so just cope with us, and we're going to get you your stuff, and everything's been good around here. So I keep seeing one that was also on the sheet that y'all asked on our other social media, and I see a bunch of them. I should have started with this. I don't know where Cy is, but I guarantee you he's doing well. No, it's Sunday afternoon. I can guarantee you Cy has got a football game turned on really low on his TV, and he's asleep on his couch. Guaranteed. Unless he just got up for a bathroom break because of his 17 gallons of tea that he drinks. So, that's just, the other one is what's it like working with him. He is a human distraction. So, he's a great guy, but man, it's hard to get any work done when he's around, because if you think he's funny on TV, you ought to sit with him in person and just have him sit here. He never stops. He's a great crowd when you need an audience. I'll say that for him. So we love Cy. Great fella. There's another one. Where is Jace? Look, y'all keep asking about these Robertsons. It's a Sunday. Where y'all think they are? They ain't up here working. Dadgum. They got the right last name. Me, Godwin, everybody else got the wrong last name. So, no, I'm kidding. I love my coworkers. I love my bosses. They're fantastic people. This is a great time. Isaiah, what's up, man? You asked for a shout out, so I got you. How's Jacob Wheeler doing? He's getting ready to go fish. I just talked to him last night. He's got a, FLW Costa event or whatever, the Toyota Series, I think is what they're called now, coming up. So he's doing that. But without further ado, I'm going to take, y'all keep asking about Ford or Chevy. I don't care. Does it run? That's all. Does it make it to the duck hole? I'll take whichever one makes it to the duck hole. So at this point right here. But Chevy does support our Realtree partner, so I'd have to give them a slight nod. I drive a GMC, so there you go. It's 2012. Got about 170,000 miles on it. It's paid off, and I love it. So there you go. How many banded ducks have I killed? I have no idea. I can tell you how many bands I have. I think I have like 11 on the wall. I take them, I don't keep them on my lanyard. I take them and put them on the ducks that I have mounted, hopefully of the same species. The most prominent for me is wood duck bands. I've killed several banded wood ducks. Coming in second would actually be pintails, believe it or not. I've killed several banded pintails. So, and a smattering of mallards and teal and other ducks. So I've seen a lot of them harvested. Sometimes you just, they fall out in the middle, and there's, 5 guys hunting, and we'll kill 8 or 9 or 10 at one time, and you can't honestly remember which one is which. So those most of the time what we do is we give them to the dog. If you have a dog, if your dog's on the hunt, the dog gets the band. If that's not the case, if there's a kid or something like that, we'll give it to the kids. So all I ever really want to know about the band is the stories, because I'm a nerd and I like knowing where the ducks have been and what they've been doing and all that kind of good stuff. So let's see. Why did you guys stop filming the TV show? Well, look, every good thing's got to come to an end. So contracts ran out, nothing got renewed, and you know what? Life back to somewhat normal has been pretty nice. So we did enjoy doing all the work, bringing that to you. But hey, check us out now here on YouTube, all of our other social. And it's a lot more fun getting back to hunting versus the everyday stuff. So, that's a good time. There's another common one there. What noise do you make when doing a feeding call? I don't really, I don't know what noise I make. I know what sound ducks make when they feed, and I try to mimic that. So let's see. Let's go with this guy right here. Cut down 2.0. So a feed call, look, I'm not gonna do this very loud because of audio and stuff, so we're gonna keep it kind of quiet, but ducks feeding do a lot of different things. One duck feeding is just gonna sound kind of like this. If you want to sound like a lot of ducks feeding, it's more of a So it just all depends on what you're trying to mimic. If you've got a small spread, you don't want to sound like 25 ducks feeding. You want to sound like 1 or 2. But if you have a huge spread, then you want to make a lot of racket. You know, a lot of things, a lot of times, you know, there's a lot of people to all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times you only hear ducks doing that when they're flying. So, excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat. So we try to make it sound like what ducks sound like when they're actually on the water. So, you know, that's just, we try to limit, or we try to mimic live ducks, because all you boys north of us get a first shot at them before we ever get to see them. So we are hunting the survivors, as I like to call them, and they're pretty good. Look, I see another one that is pretty common, as you're asking Trump or Biden. I'm not going to give you an opinion one way or the other on that. Here's what I will tell you: if you are old enough, go vote. Just go vote. Go make your voice be heard. Your vote does matter, contrary to popular belief. And if you don't vote, whenever the election's over, I don't want to hear no griping out of you. So there you go. If you vote, you can gripe. If you don't, you got no gripe. That's all I'm going to say about voting. Just go do it. There's a common one there that's in our live chat, and one from our deal. I asked him what was the biggest deer I've ever killed. So I think back about a month or 2 ago, we actually posted the video on our YouTube channel. It's airing on Outdoor Channel currently on Realtree Outdoors and Realtree Road Trips. It was a bow hunt last year at 7J in Wyoming, and the deer scored at, I believe, 155 and 2/8 or something like that. It was the second largest deer killed in Wyoming with a bow last year, so that was pretty awesome. But you know, when I go hunting deer, I'm just going to be honest with you. They're very much a food source for this redneck. So I don't believe in harvesting young bucks unless you've never done it before. But I will take a doe with as big of a smile on my face as I will a buck. So you know, there you go. Let's see. Tell me about my gun dog. Well, I've got a couple. Jessie is probably the one y'all seen most of my pictures with. She's kind of a fox red British lab. She came from Duck Hill Kennels in Tennessee, and she is 8 years old now and starting to slow down a little bit. So you know, Jude is my house dog and my wife's dog, as I like, and that probably my wife. That answers the other question, asking if I ever got married. I call her my wife's dog, but she is very capable at retrieving. So you'll probably see a little bit more switch over to Jude this year, and some other dogs too that we're going to run. So, you know, I love them all. As long as I don't have to get out of that blind, that dog can hunt with me. So I don't have a breed I prefer. I guess if I did, you'd call me a lab guy, but I hunt with a buddy that's a golden retriever guy, and I hunt with another guy that's got them weird ones with the mustaches, and you know, that they speak German too and all that kind of stuff. So you know, that's just part of it. I would say, going back to the questions from earlier, the best part of working at Duck Commander would be really just the kind of the family atmosphere we have here. Everybody knows everybody. We try to invest in all of our employees' lives. Most of us go to church or do stuff outside of work together. So I would say the family atmosphere that come across on the show is still very much prevalent here. It's one of the things I try to keep here, being the general manager now. So that'd probably be my favorite thing. The fact that I do get to hunt a lot is another bonus, and I also get to fish a lot. So you know, there you go. That's somebody keeps asking, waterfowl or dove? Yes, I don't care. I'll do both of them. Duck hunting's probably a little more fun because you get to call, but doves are, to me, arguably better eating. So you know, and you get to kill 15 of them, not 6. So you know, go figure. Let's see. My favorite duck call is this Cut Down 2.0. It's one that we brought out a few years ago. You can see I have 2 of them on my lanyard. I've got one that I tune for a little bit higher and one that's a little bit lower. So if I need to get nasally and raspy and gravelly when they get close, then I'll use the one, and if I need to ring on it, I'll use the other. Look, you can tune those calls yourself if you want to. All you got to do is trim the reeds. It's not that hard. We send them tuned for pretty much, we set it for your everyday average duck call blower. If you don't like how it's tuned, let us know. We'll send you some more reeds and you can mess around with them and do your own thing with them. So my favorite duck to hunt, I mean, that's kind of a loaded question. I love shooting mallards in trees. I love shooting them in WRP, but I love green-winged teal. I love bull sprigs. I love widgeons. I hate gadwalls. Hate them. Hate their guts. Them paranoid schizophrenics. But so I don't, you know, I love them all, really. You know, I say that about gadwalls. They do aggravate the snot out of me, but it is what it is. So they're all fun to hunt. They're all really good to eat. Some of them just eat a little bit better than other ones. Let's see. What's Phil up to? Boy, Brooks, you are burning up a keyboard, son. Golly. Let's see here. Let's go back to these. My favorite duck blind snack, that's a tough one. You know, one of my favorite things about hunting season is the arrival of the Little Debbie Christmas tree cake. That means it's hunting season. And if you've never had a 34-degree Little Debbie Christmas tree cake in a duck blind, you haven't lived. So as you can tell, I'm a model of physical fitness. I am a former swimsuit model. Not really. But yeah, I like Christmas tree cakes. I like peanut butter crackers. You know, basically some stuff that you can just about 2 bites and then you're on to the next bunch of ducks, hopefully. So that's kind of what I keep my snacks to. Let's see. Another one that comes up is, what advice will we give to first-time hunters? Here's what I would tell you if you're a first-time hunter. And look, you get a lot of flack from people out in the hunting world because you are a first-time hunter. Look, don't listen to that mess. Here is my suggestion. Go to a local sporting goods store. Go to church. Go to places where people gather and just start talking to people about hunting. Odds are somebody there will invite you to go with them. Now, once you get the invite to go with somebody who's been doing it a while, there are certain things to remember. If they take you someplace, you never, ever, ever go back to that place without that person. If you do, they probably won't call you again. Now, if you're off work or something goofy happens and you can go and they can't, but you call them and check and they say, yeah, go ahead, then you're fine. But don't ever try to sneak in somebody's hole. That's a bad deal and a good way to ruin a potential hunting partner. The next piece of advice, when you're on that hunt with somebody who's done it a lot longer than you, just listen. Don't talk, just listen. Be a sponge. You know, whatever you do, don't blow your duck call. Leave it in your pocket, because everybody has got their way of doing things. But watch when they call. Watch how they call. Watch everything about the hunt. Watch if they move the decoys because ducks are working weird. Watch, you know, all that kind of stuff. And just, again, be a sponge. Listen to them, take it in, all that kind of good stuff. You know, I encourage people to go hunting, to give it a try. There are people out there willing to take you. But don't, you know, just don't be the guys that think that you already know it all and go out on public land and set up 90 yards from somebody else and shoot swings and shoot high ducks, get ducks down in the hole. If you can't get them down in the hole, take it as a learning experience and figure out what to change the next time. Another great way to get started hunting is to go to an outfitter. Pay for a hunt for the first time. Save up your money, save up your coins, and just go with people that do it for a living. You know, I've got a lot of good buddies that are outfitters, and they're really good hunters. And it's you know, that's kind of my stuff for a beginning hunter, fisherman, anything like that. So Let's see, what else do we have? Is Duck Commander hiring? No, unfortunately, we are not. What is my favorite state to hunt? That would depend on what you're talking about. If it's to hunt ducks, it's either Louisiana or Arkansas. So where we're at in Louisiana, we are about 45 minutes from the Arkansas state line. So I hunt both states quite a bit. I don't go very far into Arkansas. Every now and then I'll end up in central Arkansas, up around the Bald Knob area. But most of the time I stay right down here around the state line. If you're talking about hunting turkeys, then God bless Texas. Because them Rios are very good sports for the most part. And if you're talking about deer, man, I love going out to Wyoming every year and chasing deer with 7J Outfitters. It's something that Realtree invited me on 7 years ago. Hoping to make it number 8 this year. Just David Blanton, if you're watching this, let me know if I'm in or not. That'd be great. No, I'm kidding. But that I love. If you've never hunted out west, again, something I highly recommend. It's just cool for, down here you can't see 150 yards. You go up there, you can see 1.5 miles. So it's just completely different hunting. Really cool, that kind of deal. So let's see. Well, we've already addressed side, Jacob. You'll have to scroll back to the first of it. We've already addressed my biggest buck. Peyton keeps asking, how did I meet Jacob Wheeler? As fate would have it, we were both sponsored by Under Armour at the time, and I was at the Bassmaster Classic when it was in Tulsa. Edwin Evers won on the last day. I don't remember what year it was. So, but we went out to dinner. Went to eat sushi, of all things. If you know Jacob Wheeler, you know that's probably his favorite meal ever. But went to eat sushi, talked that night, just kind of kept in contact. Next thing I know, we're going on vacations and hunting and fishing and all kinds of good stuff together. So, that's kind of the short story of me meeting him. James, yes, we do allow visitors at Duck Commander. We have a store on site and a walkthrough tour. So if you ever end up here, feel free to stop by. We'd love to have you. Samuel, do mule deer taste different? Man, look, I don't know. I ain't ever killed one and I ain't ever ate one. So I would suppose they taste like deer, but I have no idea. Do we have way more employees that are shown on Duck Dynasty? That answer is no, not way more. We've got about probably 3 or 4 other people that you did not see on the show, and that's it. Now during the height of the show, yes, we had to have more people come in and help us out, but now we are back to kind of where we were. Wyatt, you want to know what kind of shells I use? We are partnered with Heavy Shot, so excuse me. I like the Heavy Hammer personally. It's a blend of steel and tungsten, and man, that stuff works good. Number 3 shot, 3-inch. I do not shoot 3.5, even though my Super Black Eagle 3 is perfectly capable of handling 3.5-inch shells. I just do not shoot them. I have not done anything to deserve that. So that's kind of, and I shoot number 3s with a Kicks, either modified or full high flyer choke. So that's kind of that's my shotgun setup for duck hunting. If we're hunting little tight timber, I will use a Benelli M220 gauge and shoot 3-inch number 3s in it also. So I like 3-shot. They tend to pattern better. So that's just kind of my deal. And I never go tighter than a full choke. So most of the time I shoot a modified, if I'm being honest. So that's just me. Let's see. You're related to Gordon. Well, good for you, Devin. That's awesome. If you're talking about Gordon Dasher, I feel sorry for you. And if you're talking about Jeff Gordon, that's pretty awesome, I think. But what color is my SB3? I've got one that's jet black and I got one that's Realtree timber. So that's the 2 that I have. Jonathan, there's your shout out. Good work. What is the best bait for river catfish? I don't know. A catfish, catappa worm. That's what Growing up here, we always caught catfish on with catappa worms. I think Godwin uses like cut skipjack, herring, shad, something. So I don't. That's a question for when Godwin gets on here and does that. Pros and cons for shooting a 12 versus a 20. So here's my thoughts on it. The only thing a 12 gauge gives you personally is more recoil and probably 10 more yards effective distance, which to me only matters if you're hunting wide open spaces. If you're hunting tight trees and flooded timber and that kind of stuff, a 20 will do everything a 12 does, because if you take your time and get them down in the hole with you, a 20 gauge is perfectly capable of doing everything you need it to do. Now, with that being said, you can shoot whatever you like. This is a free country. If you want to tote a 10 gauge into the timber, by God, that is your right, and go do it. So I'm not one of them to shame other people. I shoot them. I've shot them with a 410. I shoot them with a 28 gauge, you name it. And I got it. So I keep seeing another one is who is the best hunter? How do you qualify that? Most ducks killed? If that's the case, then good luck catching Phil Robertson. If you're talking about, I just don't even know. We're all pretty good at what we do. I mean, you know, if I had to say, I think out of all of our people, I wouldn't want Jace to hunt me. Does that make him a better hunter? I don't know. Because I also don't want me to hunt myself. So, you know, it's just, I don't, you know, to go with the best, I think you just almost have to say who's doing it the longest. And so the hat goes off to the OG Phil on that one. Jacob, tell your brother that we appreciate his service, man. And for all you servicemen and women, first responders out there, look, we appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for what y'all do. Appreciate everything that y'all do for us and letting us do our thing. So let's see, back to the internet, the other social media questions. Has my education changed my opinion on anything y'all have done in the past for ducks? It didn't change my opinion on it, but it brought to light a lot of things that we didn't really know much about. At the time, we didn't know much about moist soil management. We didn't know much about, you know, clearing spaces in your canopy, making holes, setting fires to set back woody succession. So it kind of changed and opened our eyes to a lot of things that we could do ourselves. Removal of, you know, not good species like bacchus and water hickory and junk like that to, you know, kind of select for oaks and hackberries and all kinds of other grasses that would then thrive in those areas. So, you know, smartweed, springletop, you name it, toothcut, we try to manage for all of that. So it's kind of a cool deal. We went from, you know, worried about growing cultivated crops in our food plots to just letting nature do its thing, breaking the dirt at the right time, putting water on it at the right time, and taking it off. So let's see. So I already answered the favorite place or state to hunt ducks. My dog is 1.5 years and is gun shy like crazy. Well, look, you may ought to check out the video we posted Wednesday. We posted a video with my buddy Sean Sims teaching you the proper way to introduce dogs to gunfire. So if you haven't, go check that episode of Duck Dog University out, and let us know what you think about that. Let's see here. Any way guy can land a duck hunt with you guys. So I'll tell you about this. Duck hunting with us, it ain't as fun as you think it is. We bring cameras. We don't shoot them early. We let daylight get up. And then at some point, you're going to get blamed because the duck saw you and flared. So there you go. You just went duck hunting with Phil Robertson. And you're going to sit out there till your rear end cannot stand being on a 5-gallon bucket any longer. Yes, that's right. We take buckets to sit on. Now they're Yeti buckets and they're nice buckets, but they're still a bucket and they ain't got no cushion on them. So eventually you run the cushion out of your waders, and then you're like, all right, yeah, it's time to go. So let's see, best wood duck recipe. So I'm trying to think. The best it is hard to beat duck wraps. I'm sure everybody's had them, duck poppers, where you take the breast off the bone, you split them, stuff them with jalapenos and cream cheese, but you can stuff them with anything you really want to. You wrap them in bacon and you cook them till the bacon's done. Don't cook them until the meat is done because you have overcooked it. For woodies, though, one thing I love to do is they're the one duck that I pick, and almost every time I kill them. Now, I do pick other ducks, but woodies are always made to the picking line, and I love smoking them. And what I'll do is I'll sear that skin in a cast iron skillet with just a little bit of oil before I put them on the smoker, and then put them on like a 200, 225 smoke for about 2 to 3 hours until that internal temperature hits like 135, 130, 135, and then I pull them off, let them rest, and devour. And they are fantastic. You eat the skin, you eat everything. Then you pick the meat off his back. He's a good critter. Them little legs are fantastic. So just got a new duck lease. Any tips for attracting more birds? Well, they're dirt flipping Cajun. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just hope they fly over your head. It's tough to say because it is a lease, so I don't know what you're hunting. You know, it just all depends on the ground. So there's just a lot of, you know, try to select for native plants and grasses. If not, plant you some millet in it if you can. If it's a field, you know, the biggest thing is take 3 times as much brush as you think you need. So the other one, favorite gear. So I'll just run down my gear. We've already talked about the Benelli shotguns. We've talked about the heavy shot shells. My favorite waders, look, I'm 6'4". I'm a big boy. The Frog Togs Grand Refuge 2.0s, you cannot beat them. They are actual chest waders for somebody that's 6'4". Now, if you're Godwin's height, you better drop on down to the stouts, because if not, you kind of got to climb up to see out the top of them, of the regular ones. But they are actual chest waders. They're super comfortable. They've got a liner you can take in and out. So when you get to smelling like mildew at the end of the season, you can throw that thing in the washing machine and you're smelling like brand new, and all of a sudden your wife doesn't hate you and your truck don't stink quite as bad. It still stinks, but not quite as bad. Choke tubes are Kicks high flyer chokes. I'm just trying to think of everybody. And the stuff that I use every day, Mojo Ripplers are something we can't live without. Jerk strings are vital to have to add motion to your decoys. Golly, there's just a ton of stuff. Hearing protection is Tetra. They're kind of a new company, but man, the technology behind them is awesome. They are the one hearing protection that doesn't affect your duck call sound, so you can actually hear what your call sounds like, but then when the shooting starts, they shut off like that. So, you know, there's just all kinds of things that we use day in and day out. So, my favorite one was a favorite meat. Now, I'm not sure if that means wild game, meat in general, whatever. Wild game, man, it's tough. They're all really good. You know, I love crappie. I love deer. I love ducks, doves. If I'm going to hunt it, it's because I want to eat it. So I don't go do anything for funsies. I mean, is it fun? Yes. But the ultimate goal is to eat what you're after. So that's kind of my stick on it. And if I'm not going to eat it, I'm not going to take it. Now, the only way that's an exception is with cottonmouths and snakes that could hurt you around the duck hole or hurt your dog. So Lord knows we got plenty of them around here, so we are doing nothing to hurt the population. So in fact, it seems like the more we take, the more we see. So y'all ever get size panther? That's funny. That's Axis chili. That sounds like something I'd be interested in. Caleb, welcome. This is your first live stream with us. That's probably because this is the first one we've really done. So that's awesome. So look, you've been here for every one of them. That's pretty cool. I keep seeing you guys asking for more cooking videos. We certainly will do that. We've got some cool stuff coming up. I've worked with some pretty cool cooks with my partnership with Academy. So the Hardcore Carnivore, Jess Prowls, has given me a couple of cool recipes that we're going to use. My buddy Meat Church, Michael Mixon. So we've worked with some cool cooks, and we'll be bringing that stuff to you via our vlog as the season goes on. So Susan checking in from Ontario, Canada. That's a long walk from here. So that's awesome. This is we're gonna keep going. Oh, here's a good one. How do I like my coffee? I do not like coffee at all. I tried it every which way you can have it. I don't like it. I don't know how it caught on. Judge me all you want to, but for me to wake up and get going in the morning, I drink Mountain Ops Ignite. So, you know, that's what it is. So, if I could hunt one animal for the rest of my life, what would it be? I think I don't want to have to make that choice. I don't, because I enjoy the process and, you know, the different skills that it takes to hunt all the animals, because what you do for deer hunting is not what you do for duck hunting, and what you do for turkey hunting is totally different than dove hunting and pheasant hunting. So, you know, I guess if you just made me choose, I guess give me ducks. But I just, please don't make me choose that. My favorite food, all of it, anything Kay cooks, you know, anything Willie cooks. The Robertsons, one thing that may not be known about, they're all fantastic cooks. So they all enjoy it, and that's a good thing. So keeping on the cooking trio, my favorite way to cook crappie, southern fried, which means to me is cornmeal battered or blackened. That's the only two ways I'll eat them. I love them both that way, and I will eat either one with equal enthusiasm. Biggest bass I've ever caught was like 11-1. Caught it on a tiny torpedo in a pond. So there you go. That's the biggest one I've ever caught. My favorite fishing lure, square bill crankbait. Hands down. Maybe a chatterbait. One of those two. Something I can reel. I'm a winder. I'm a chunker and a winder. I ain't a dauber. I'm a and keep the trolling motor on high and keep rolling. So a whopper plopper, he's pretty good too. So but anything I can chunk and wind, I'm good. My favorite way to catch crappie is actually trolling for them. So I like to put 6 lines out behind the boat and go 1 mile an hour, set my oil tracks on 1 mile per hour and just roll. And I'll change jig heads to determine how deep I'm fishing. So that's the way I love to do it. How do I like my steak? Medium rare, that's the only way you eat it, right, Thomas? Man, good night. Cottonmouth tastes like chicken. Ain't no way Cottonmouth tastes like chicken. He stinks too bad to taste like a chicken. Yes, Si is retired. Do I like fly fishing? I've never done it, but I'm sure I would. I have killed a couple of deer this year, Caleb, so thank you for asking. Dale, I would just say on most bands, look, man, I'm going to guess Phil just because he's been doing it the longest. So, yes, Josh, I do eat spoonbill. I have no problem eating a shoveler. So, you know, surround him with a bunch of distractions and he's all right. So, I have hunted in Tennessee, David, hopefully to get back up with Andy Morgan and those boys this year and have a good time. My favorite Bible verse, the one that I sign everywhere, is Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. I have not black bear hunted. Me and bears, we ain't got no issues between us. They're nice, I'm nice, everything's good. So, no, being I don't hunt with a buckman. They're kind of snobby about who'll hunt with them. Adam LaRoche don't ever invite me. So, no, I'm kidding. I have hunted with them a few times, but they're always hunting whenever we're duck hunting. So our paths rarely cross on that regard. So let's see. I got one here of what is my story into faith. My story into faith is, I'll try to give you the short version. I was born and raised in church. My grandfather was an Assembly of God preacher, and my mom dragged me to church every Sunday and Wednesday, whether I was kicking and screaming or not. You know, but growing up in church, I was in Sunday school every time, and my one goal was to be the best in Sunday school. You know, I wanted to get the highest grades just like in regular school. So that was kind of my experience in church growing up, and I never, as a young youth, took the time to develop a personal relationship with Jesus. So, you know, I then went into college. You know, your parents don't make you go to stuff then. You just show up on holidays and stuff like that because you got other things going on. And but when I got out of college, I ended up meeting Willie when I was working at a sporting goods store here in West Monroe. And, you know, it was just, we became friends, and I ended up coming to work here when I was working on my master's program. Just as something to kind of clear my mind. Actually, the first month and a half or so, I wasn't even a paid employee. So, you know, that's, but then he asked the question if I wanted to become an employee, and I did. And, you know, I think I made a good choice. But while I was here working with these guys, working with Goblin, working with Jace, working with Si, I was trying to figure out, you know, no matter what happened, I came in, those guys never had a bad day. They were always smiling, happy, and I was trying to figure out what the difference was between me and them. And being a biology guy, of course, I looked at everything around to see what the circumstances were and why it was different. And after going through everything, I figured out the only thing they had that I didn't was a personal relationship with Jesus. So I'll never forget, I was sitting right here in this chair. Jace was right there, and I just asked him one day, I said, man, I need to get right. You know, I need to figure this deal out. And he said, well, I was wondering when you was going to ask. And I was like, well, gee, thanks. You said, let me sit over here and mire in misery for a little while you know, you was trying to figure that out. So I asked him, and he told me to go home and read John, and we'd start studying. And I went home and I read the book of John, and we'd come back in, and we would study the Bible in here together. And then in Mother's Day of 2011, I went and got baptized by my grandfather, and the rest is history. And here's what I'll say about that. Once you make that commitment in your life, the thing that I took home from it was the best night's sleep I ever got, because I no longer worried where I was going if I didn't wake up. So there was an assurance there. There was just a feeling of all the weight had been lifted. And now, you know, now we just have to keep trying, keep our head down. We all fall short. And you just ask for forgiveness, and you don't repeat those mistakes, and you move on. So I'm very blessed to be surrounded by the Robertsons and by the folks here, and you know, we try to keep that at the center of who we are. So I'm going to answer just a couple more, and then I'm going to get out of here because it is deer season and it is cool outside, and I'm going to go deer hunting. So let's see, who's my favorite Robertson? It's got to be Willie, right? His name's on the paycheck. So, I mean, don't tell him, but really it'd probably be Si. But since he signs my paycheck, it's definitely Willie, 100%. Let's see, best memory duck hunting, no doubt would be calling in and taking my first mallard drake in Holly Ridge, Louisiana when I was 12 years old. I'll never forget it. It was foggy in a skid blind, stuck out like a sore thumb. And there was one real dumb one that come flying by in the fog, and I got him. So, you know, that was pretty cool. I'd love to go elk hunting sometime. Favorite brand of fishing combos? Look, Peyton, if you're looking for a great deal, you're not going to hardly go wrong with going with H2O Express rods and reels from Academy. They're fantastic. If you want to spend a little more money, Jacob Wheeler, my good buddy's got fishing combos with ducket fishing that are really good. So fishing, just like hunting, all the stuff today is made as quality. So my favorite knife, I'm a Havalon guy. I love the fact to replace the blades. I'm not very adept at sharpening them, so there you go. I have eaten morel mushrooms. They are fantastic. I've never hunted with Latrell, but Marcus, we've had some good times together. So look, here's the deal. I've never killed anything to Africa. I've never been there. And let's see, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for me for the day. But look, here's the deal. We're going to do more of these. So I appreciate all of y'all for coming in. Look, we got 500 and something people in here on a Sunday afternoon. So I appreciate you guys taking the time out. Like I said, we are going to do more of this style, but we're also going to do some live streamed hunts once season opens. So, you know, hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Hopefully you guys will support us in that. And, you know, let us know what you think. As always, if you have questions, put them in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We update twice a week during the season. So check it out. Check all of us out. Check out our great partners. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you from the woods. We're out.